That's probably also why this area is so interesting for biodynamic culture, because the field was not used before to make wine. The owner before really was a shepherd, so they never used this soil to make wine. So
I must have loved it.
that's, yeah, and they didn't use, that means they didn't use any chemical
No.
product. So now you can see already the style of density.
Here we are in the southeast side of Montalcino. You know, the Montalcino is like an hill. Down there, that's the river Orcia that gives name to all the valley, and the river is also the border of the Brunello area. It means that on the other side of the river, even on the hills there, if you plant Sangiovese, you can't produce Brunello or Rosso di Montalcino because you are out of the area, so we are just on the border. The owner is Francesco Illi, insieme a Illi Coppi. He bought this property in 1998 from a shepherd with sheep, so there was not a single vine here, only really a natural area. In 2000 he began to plant the vineyard, and now we have 54 hectares of property all around, but only 13 are vineyard, of which 9 are Sangiovese vineyards, the rest are Syrah and Merlot, so more international grapes. Of the 9 hectares of Sangiovese, just 1 is certified as Brunello. It means that we produce a wine called Brunello only from 1 hectare, and usually from this 1 hectare we do Brunello Riserva, so we age the wine 6 years instead of 5, 1 year more in oak. From the rest of the Sangiovese we do Rosso di Montalcino, that usually is a fresher and easier wine compared with the Brunello, because by the law it needs to be aged only 2 years. In our case we release it later, so we age it longer. Our Rosso di Montalcino is a little bit more complex than a traditional Rosso di Montalcino, and sometimes it can taste almost like a Brunello. He decided to exaggerate and he planted the bonsai vineyard. Bonsai because of the short size of the vines, and there we have 62,000 vines in 1 hectare, so 10 times more the normal number of vines. It's the densest vineyard in the world. From the bonsai vineyard we produce a wine that is 100% Sangiovese, is the one with the black label that you saw inside, and is 100% Sangiovese, just coming from this particular vineyard, and it tastes completely different than a Brunello or a Rosso di Montalcino, even if it's same variety of grape. That's because of the roots. In this case we have 3 meters of roots underground, and it's really a lot. So the wine tastes really much more complex, intense, it needs more time to become ready, so it's completely another experience of wine. And they consider that from each vine we can only pick like 1 or 2 clusters, so they are really small with thicker skins, and the complexity of the wine comes from the skins. Then we follow the biodynamic philosophy. I don't know if you have ever heard about, so it's something more than organic. We don't use chemicals or pesticides into the vineyard. We want to maintain the richness into the soil. This is our main goal. So we have a different approach, because in this way you can really taste into the grapes and into the wines the characteristics coming from the soil, the microclimate, the particular vintage. So it's really interesting to see also how the vines can grow stronger and able to fight against disease alone, so without the need to put chemicals. And yeah, biodynamic is something more than organic, because it's a philosophy. It means that we follow also a specific calendar. It means that we follow the moon phases, the position of the sun, of the moon, of the planets through the constellation, because we believe that there is a relation between the plants and the solar system all around. So we just pay attention to all these conditions in order to help the vines grow up in a natural way. Here in Montalcino now we are like 250 producers, but only 6 are certified as biodynamic, because it asks maybe a little bit more knowledge, but also attention
And love.
maybe.
And love.
Yeah, and love, right. By Ernesto Illi, who is the son of Francesco, together with Francesco, using only natural materials like clay bricks and limestone mortar. So they didn't use reinforced concrete or iron in the structure, also to contain the same philosophy that we use into the vineyard, of course, the biodynamic. In the middle here we have a dome. It's like the Pantheon in Rome. Here we can see the couple from the top, at the end we will be under the dome.
Can we go in?
Yeah, sure. Look at the step.
Under the dome is what?
Is like the central part of the cellar. Under the dome we
Okay.
part of the the wine, and at the end we will be under the dome. Here we have some pictures taken by Francesco. He is also a photographer. The vineyards in fall, so everything changed color.
It's very good. He's an artist.
Yes.
Is he? I understand he just designed all the ceramic demi-tasse cups.
Yeah,
That
he
was-
took care in the past, or he chose the artist that designed the coffee cup, also the coffee machine. He's the more artistic of the brothers. Here you can see the cellar from the top. We were here before, and we are walking all around here now, and you can see we will do two turn underground. The cellar developed itself in slope, because in this way we can pour the wine from one cask to another by gravity.
Yeah.
But going down, we are going also underground, so in this way the temperature gets cooler in a natural way. The opening is a solar calendar. We will see better from the bottom, but here this is the perfect south. So you can see the light of the sun can come in. Here you can see the layers in the soil, and it's really nice to see.
Oh yeah. That's what the roots have to fight.
Yeah. This is the second part of the cellar. We aged wines. I said to you that we aged them really a lot of time. Even the entry-level wine is usually 4 years. The first 2 or 3 years of aging are always in oak, and mostly we use the big cask because we don't like to cover the flavors coming from the grapes. We have of course also smaller barrel like Tonneau and Barrique. In particular, the bonsai wine is the unique one that is fermented and aged only in the small barrel, because we don't have enough wine. 500, 600 bottles are not enough wine to fill the big cask. And at the end of the oak process of aging, we used to put the wine into the concrete vats. So we don't use stainless steel. Concrete was used also in the past, in the 50s, so it's not a modern technique. And we prefer them than stainless steel because they allow to maintain always the same temperature, but they allow also micro-oxygenation, so the wine can breathe and can evolve itself. Instead, the stainless steel is like killing the wine because there's not passage of oxygen, so there's not breathing of the wine. So 2 or 3 years in oak, maximum 1 year in concrete, then we bottle the wine. We keep the bottles at the end of the cellar. We usually age the wine in bottle for at least 1 year, and finally we can label them and we sell them.
How much bonsai gets to the United States as exports?
So we haven't imported there, but we sell mostly of the bonsai in direct sale, so here. So maybe a lot of bonsai goes to the United States, but because people from the United States come here to buy it, it's like, I think that to the importer we sell like 40, 50 bottles only, yeah, and then the rest we sell mostly here by indirect sale. 500 bottles are really few.
Wow.
Then there, I don't know, have you ever tasted our wines or
No.
see our wines there?
No.
They sell the wine only in the Mario Batali restaurants.
Where? Oh wow.
Here we are with the...
Oh my God.
So this is technically built like a Pantone Rome. They follow the so-called golden ratio proportion. And the small opening that we saw before is there, the solar calendar. And you can see on the top there's the opening that allow all the hot gases to go out.
Robert Parker for us has tried to make the American palate
Yeah.
big alcohol, and then you release the acidity.
Did you agree or
No, I disagree.
But also here, Parker have a big influence in the wine. Because, for example, Montalcino have two big brands. Have two big brands. One is a little bit more modern, and modern in terms of identity. And the Brunello taste is richer in the color, is a little bit more ready and faster for the market. But what is so important is the briefing, because Sangiovese like Nebbiolo, is not a variety of grape rich of primary fragrance. It's not a very spicy taste or something that you can smell and say, oh, that's some Sangiovese. We can feel pepper or, I don't know, richness in red fruit, small red fruit. It's something of more complex and match with the ground, with the taste of the soil, and this kind of elegance and this kind of complexity is something that you can take care by the oxidation. Sangiovese needs to breathe during the winemaking.
Which one do you like the most? The first one or the second one?
They're two different wines.
Yeah. That's also a different side of the hill because we are on the east, and the east side of Montalcino is technically with the north side the most important, because you imagine farmer 200 years ago, they always prefer field, garden, olive trees, vineyard on the east side because it's where you can get the sun in the morning and where you can reduce the humidity in the vineyard faster. And the fungus, the insect are less dangerous. You can do more organic. The west side of Montalcino was mostly woods.
So Francesco is the perfect boss.
Yeah, the budget is less important than the quality. That's the point for him. Yeah, and I'm lucky. Yeah, because
how did he find you?
I was in Montalcino already 3 years in another winery on the north side, completely involved in the Parker system, and I was a little bit tired. And the winery here was just starting because he planted in 1929, but Montalcino is always about the team. If you have the team, because there are lots of people behind the bottle. The wine is in the cellar for 5 years, a huge work in the vineyard, and if you have a great team, a very slow turnover about people, you can really have follow the wine.
My Bonsai.
This is our most important wine. We do 600-900 bottles, depends on the year. And it's 14, 100% Sangiovese, single vineyard.
So could I see the bottle for a while? This is bonsai. I don't know how many years ago, but I was reading Wine Spectator. I think it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And he put out some tiny little ad in Wine Spectator. I've just made this,
and
it was before anything, and I rushed to see the video.
Yeah.
And it's like, my bonsai. And it's like, this is so incredible.
Yeah.
And here I am today.
It was the beginning.
It was the beginning. Oh my god. Oh my god, there's nothing like it.
The densest vineyard in the world.
I think I like Italian wine best of all.